Hi everyone, it's me again. I told you I was going to give you a formula to look at what your working heart rates need to be when you are exercising to get your maximum results. And I'm going to be using the Karvonen formula. Sorry. Now it's a little shaky, so if you need to pause, go ahead, pause at any time. I will try and go as slow as possible to help everyone come up with their numbers, okay? So this is the Karvonen formula. This is used to find your target heart rate zone using your heart rate reserve. So to begin with, you want to check your heart rate every morning, the minute you wake up, because this is to check your resting heart rate, okay? Now what I do is I push my 2 fingers right here on the side of my throat until I feel my heartbeat. I start my timer, and you can either count for 60 seconds, and that's how many beats per minute your heart is beating, okay? Or you can count how many beats are beating in 30 seconds and multiply by 2. Either way will do, whichever one you want, okay? But it has to be the minute you wake up and check your heart rate. So basically, we will say that my resting heart rate right now is 70. Okay, that's an example. 71, let's say. Now you're going to keep track of that for 3 days. Every morning, the minute you wake up, do your heartbeat, okay, your heart rate. And then you're going to add all 3 of them together. Okay? So you're going to add all 3 days together. We'll say this is day 1, day 2, day 3, to 11, okay? And divided by 3, so my average divided by 3 days, my average resting heart rate is 70. Okay? So that's my resting heart rate number. I've taken another piece of paper and I'm writing these down to make life easier later on, okay? That's what you need before you do anything else, your resting heart rate. Now, the next thing you need is to find your maximum heart rate. And to find your maximum heart rate, okay, you take your, that's funny, there we go. Okay, resting heart rate 70, sorry. To find your maximum heart rate, you take your age subtracted by 220, okay? So 220 minus my age is 33, so my maximum heart rate is 187, okay? That's how you find your maximum heart rate. And I've written that on my paper back here. The third thing you want to find is your heart rate reserve. Now, in order to find your heart rate reserve, you subtract your resting heart rate from your maximum heart rate, okay? So my maximum heart rate was 187 minus my resting heart rate, which is 70. That equals 117. That is my heart rate reserve, 117. Now the next step is to find the zone you want to work in. Okay, I've written my heart rate reserve 117 up here, so I've got all my numbers now at hand. There's different zones you can work out in. Some are for beginners, some are for warm-ups, some are for fat burning, and some are for endurance. Some are for then more like professional athletes, Olympic athletes, if you will, as well. That's when we start going into our red line zone and then the anaerobic zone as well. Now any good workout will actually have a mixture of zones. You'll go from an aerobic zone to an anaerobic zone back to a fitness zone. So you're getting the benefits of all the exercises. If you're doing strictly, fat loss, and you want to work in just the fat burning zone, there's nothing wrong with that as well. Either way, you're going to get more fit because you're working out now and you're going to get healthier. So let's go over the zones. I am trying to be as still as possible. I'm very sorry, okay? Okay, so the first one is the healthy heart zone. That's what I would call the one for beginners or for warm-ups, okay? In this zone, you're working at 50 to 60% of your maximum heart rate. This zone helps decrease body fat, blood pressure, and cholesterol, and it burns 85% of calories from fat, okay? The next zone is the fitness zone. This is the fat burning zone. This is working at 60 to 70% of your calories, of your maximum heart rate. This has the same benefits as the healthy heart zone, but it burns the more total calories, and 85% of those calories are from fat. Okay, and then you have the aerobic zone. This is known as the endurance zone. This is working at 70 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. This improves your cardiovascular and respiratory systems and increases the strength of your heart. More calories are burned with 50% of the calories coming from fat. Now we're going to get into the more difficult zones. But like I said before, going between aerobic, and fitness zones is a really good workout, and that's what you should aim for after you've lost your weight or you've come to some kind of the goal you're going for right now. Okay? This is the anaerobic zone. This is for performance training. You're working at 80 to 90% of your maximum heart rate. This improves your VO2 max, cardiovascular system with a higher lactate tolerance ability, which means your endurance will improve. And the last one is the red line. That's the maximum effort, okay? That's working at 90 to 100% of your maximum heart rate. So you can just see how hard that's going to be. The more in shape you are, the harder it actually is to achieve that. You should only train in this zone if you are in really good shape and you've spoken to your doctor. And as you saw, I did write Tabata on there because that's exactly what Tabata is doing. Tabata, you're working as hard and fast as possible in spurts of 20 seconds, let's say, with a 10-second break, doing it 8 times. Then you do 2 Tabatas, and you take a minute break in between. So you're getting the maximum effects of that exercise. Okay, so now let's do the math for our heart rate that we should be in to lose fat, okay? Now, basically, you can apply any of the zones I've shown you. You can apply them to here. So it's not, you're not just looking for the heart rate for fat burning, okay? Now I have lost my pen, but I will find it. So, what you do is, you take your heart rate reserve, and you're going to multiply that by 0.60, because we're looking to get our maximum heart rate to be between 60 and 70%. Our fat burning zone is 60 to 70% of our maximum heart rate. Sorry. So you're going to take your heart rate reserve, which is mine is 117 times 0.6. Okay, and that equals 70. Okay, that is my total percentage. All right, at 60%. Now you're going to take your total percentage, which is 70. Plus, I'm going to add my resting heart rate, which is also 70. 140. So, my low zone for fat burning is 140. That's what I need to get my heart rate up to. That's the minimum to stay in the fat burning zone. So when I'm doing cardio, running, anything like that, my minimum zone is going to be 140. Now if you get a heart rate monitor, this will make your life a lot easier because you can actually put your zone in that you want to stay in, and your heart rate monitor will keep track of it so you can concentrate on working out. I'm not trying to sell heart rate monitors, but it helps. Okay, so that's my low zone is 140, okay? That's what I want to get my heart rate up to start the fat burning process. Okay, now to do my low zone. To find my low zone, I do the same thing I did before, my heart rate reserve. Okay, that was 117. And then I'm multiplying that by 0.70, okay? 117 times 0.70. And that one is 81. Okay, so I take that number, 81, and I add it to my resting heart rate, which was 70. And that's going to equal 151. Okay, that's my high zone. So basically, I want my heart beating at 140 beats per minute to 151 beats per minute. And as long as I stay in that zone, I will start burning more fat. Okay, that is the equation to figure out what zone you need to be in to burn fat, okay? So remember, if it's 60 to 70% to burn fat, those are the numbers you use. Let's say you're trying to build your endurance. If you build your endurance, then your low numbers are 70. So what you would do is you would take your heart rate reserve and multiply that by 0.7. And then get that total, and then add that to your resting heart rate, okay? That would be to find your endurance or aerobic zone. And then 0.80 would be the high zone, okay? If you have any questions or you find that this is difficult to understand, drop me an email, drop me a little thing on my YouTube, and I can try and send you some more information or try and make it as clear as possible. Okay? I hope this helped, giving you a little lesson on how to find your heart rate to work at, to help excuse me, to help you get maximum results. And don't forget, when you're trying to lose weight, you should see what you're eating, try and make some little changes if you can, and then move from there. Don't get discouraged. Keep working at it because, hard is good. That means you're challenging yourself, so at least you're getting more out of it. All right, thank you very much. I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.